Alright guys, it's been a few days since the Game Awards, and since the release trailers of course, The Witcher 4 and Intergalactic, where people have been kind of speculating about what disasters these games will turn into, and just what is in store for us in 2025 with all the DEI-injected woke games that, you know, maybe they'll be good, maybe they'll suck, maybe they'll have strong independent women or not. We've kind of forgotten about the Game Awards themselves, because let's be honest, nobody really cares that much about the Game Awards. You'll see some interesting reveal trailers, and that's about it. This was a very controversial topic, despite the fact that it was meant to be like this heartwarming moment at the awards show. And so you see this article from The Gamer saying that the Game Changer was the highlight of the Game Awards, and of course it was this new award that they made up, gave it to this guy who allegedly is supposed to be helping people who are out of work get back on their feet, connect them with other employments to get, you know, out of work developers back into the industry. So it sounds good on paper. However, after some investigating, a lot of people all over Twitter were looking into this going, dude, this guy is just like a corporate like mouthpiece. All he is, and I looked into him too. It's really crazy. He actually has been working in various fields of corporate America or global corporatism for decades now, going back almost 20 years. So again, I think he was a finance analyst back in like 2004 to 2006. Like this guy is not some like just, you know, this nobody who was sitting on his couch in his sweatpants out of work making a YouTube video channel or whatever. This is a serious like high roller, okay? So they've tried to give some pushback to this, say, you know, after being honored at the Game Awards for helping laid off devs, Amir Satvat says he's received countless hateful messages and disturbing comments. This can happen to you too when you sacrifice over 2,000 hours of your time to help the industry. And again, the part that people are not understanding is this man works for Tencent, one of the companies, the Chinese companies that is destroying the games industry. Yes, Tencent does have their hands in a lot of different pies, and some of their products are good. And meanwhile, they're gobbling up Ubisoft, and Ubisoft is going to be basically a shell of its former self in a few years here, and it will no longer it'll cease to exist, which I think is a net positive given their current direction. But let's be honest, Tencent is not doing this for altruism. They're trying to destroy the games industry to gobble it up in secret. It's a pretty, you know, out in the open secret, but I digress. So again, PC gamers over here defending this guy, saying that people are attacking him needlessly, just being mean, evil, spiteful, whatever. Some other interesting stuff that we saw about the Game Awards. Alanah Pearce. Alanah Pearce is somebody who we've covered a bit on the channel off and on. You know, she's been around for a while. Games journalism, games consulting, narrative direction, narrative writing, whatever. She's just generally like a lefty weirdo. And my personal opinion of her, I don't think she's like the most awful person on the planet. I think she has a lot of really shitty opinions. And I think that she's just generally not the person I would go to if I was looking for somebody who was an expert in the field and, you know, wanted a genuinely thoughtful opinion. She's the person that said that if you're a parent and you're a gamer and you can't pause the game, that you're disabled, okay? And I get it. Everyone's got a different opinion about that. I think it's a stupid thing to say. So a few days ago, she had said some interesting stuff about the Game Awards. One of them being that the Game Awards staff and the producers were low-key, passive-aggressively telling people in her section that they had to give standing ovations because, you know, Snoop Dogg's going to be out there. And Jeff Keighley's like, yo, when he's got his new song going, you got to give him a standing ovation. And she's like, I wasn't even a fan section. This is the only time it's ever happened to me. This is the first time it's ever happened at this award show. Some other stuff that she talked about that was very interesting. And of course, you can see right here, Savvy Artist saying that she also had a few DMs about this, but now that Alanah's saying it out of the open, that seems like it could be true. We'll discuss whether or not Alanah is a truthful person in a second. This article from Eurogamer is, I think just came out yesterday on the 16th, says Black Myth Wukong producer on the Game Awards top prize snub says I came all the way here for nothing and still won 2 awards. So this article is essentially based on a few tweets by Alanah Pearce. It says Black Myth Wukong producer and Game Science CEO Feng Jie has posted a lengthy statement following the action game's apparent snub for the top prize of this year's Game Awards. The games nominated this year were all exceptional, but honestly, I still can't figure out what the criteria were for Game of the Year. I feel like I came all the way here for nothing, he wrote in a post on Weibo, translated on Reddit. Black Myth Wukong did come away with the Best Action Game and Player's Voice Awards, so he didn't leave empty-handed. Now, if you go back to The Gamer, they think the Player's Voice Awards is completely a waste of time, and they think gamers should never have a say as to what the Game of the Year is, so take that with a grain of salt. They don't actually respect your opinion. Since last night, I've seen a lot of strong dissatisfaction and frustration in players. Comments often expressed humorously or ironically, which made me laugh, the producer continued. I completely understand these feelings and share the frustration because behind these emotions lies not pain or malice, but dignity and confidence. Feng Ji even admitted he wrote his Game of the Year acceptance speech 2 years ago, only to never get the chance to deliver it. It's unclear how joking he has been in his statement, especially considering the machine translation, but some have read it as rather salty. Eurogamer has contacted Game Science for further comment. Of course you're going to translate it salty. These are people who have never given Game Science the benefit of the doubt because the IGN and Rebecca Valentine smeared the developer going back to November of 2023. The media hates these guys, okay? The producer continued to express his confidence in the game and his hopes the success of Black Myth Wukong is the beginning of a new wave of high-quality, engaging games from Chinese developers. Former Sony Santa Monica writer Alanah Pearce shared in a stream that she witnessed a person from the Game Science team crying in the audience when the game didn't win. It clearly meant a lot to them. They did an amazing thing, but I did find that surprising, said Pearce. Now, it gets even better. People are on here saying, Alanah Pearce was sitting close to them and they said that they were literally crying, while every year nobody from the industry don't really take the Game Awards that seriously. I would say yes, sore effing loser. Okay. So now we have this video shared by Kate Bush's husband, also known as @Airbagged on Twitter, one of the most... I'm just going to leave it at that. The guy's a piece of human trash. Sharing this video, and he's like, here's Alanah Pearce talking about it.
And I was in the front row this year. It was my first time being in the front row. I was like, wow, thanks, Jeff. Great seats. But being in the front row means that you can see all of the actually important people. So, like, next to me was the whole Sony team. Frankly, that's probably why they put me there, was because when they gave me the seat, I was with Sony. So I was with the Sony publishing team. Behind me was Joseph Faris. Just behind him was Sam Lake, both of whom I know and am very fond of. They're both really great dudes. But I could see all of the nominees and awards winners, and the Black Myth Wukong team, I don't know which person on the team, was crying when Astrobot got Game of the Year, because you could see him just looking down the line, which is...
I feel like she's having one of those moments where she's like, they all look alike.
It's the first time I've ever seen anything like that, because generally everyone is like, Game Awards doesn't matter that much, but yeah, the Wukong team were crying when they did not win, which... was definitely unusual. Clearly meant a lot to them. They did an amazing thing. But I did find that surprising. Like, whoa. Did it look like celebratory crying? No. They were upset. Definitely upset that they didn't win. Which is also fair. But it was still just surprising is really all I'm saying.
So there you have it. She's saying that these guys from Black Myth Wukong from Game Science were crying. Now we have an Asmongold video that seems to rebut that. Check this out.
Have you heard about what the Wukong CEO said? Yeah, I heard it got totally misrepresented because, once again, people don't speak Chinese.
Context. In the last couple days, Black Myth Wukong devs have been dragged through the mud for particularly two things. First, because it came out that in a statement, Game Science's CEO said he felt wronged by the Game Awards and had a Game of the Year acceptance speech prepared since 2 years ago. People who could actually read the post tried to correct the story, but it was already too late. The CEO was in fact grateful for winning 2 awards and made a joke while responding to the Wukong fans who were frustrated.
So again, what this boils down to is just like the original article, the hit piece written by Rebecca Valentine, this is another situation where they did not take an accurate translation and use it in good faith. It was probably the worst possible translation, and again, written in a way that will portray the people at Game Science in a negative light.
But this is nothing compared to what actually caused the firestorm.
And I was in the front row this year, and the Black Myth Wukong team, I don't know which person on the team, was crying when Astrobot got Game of the Year, because you could see him just looking down the line. They were upset, definitely upset.
And of course, everyone thought Alanah was talking about the CEO, and the video went giga-viral since it reinforced the narrative. Then the former editor-in-chief of IGN China came out refuting this, and so I decided to went back and check the actual video. As you can see, at the end of the line there's Game Science CEO. This is the same person that is being criticized for being mad about losing the Game of the Year and accused of sexism earlier this year by IGN.
He looks like a happy guy to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's a big old smile on his face.
In a complete mistranslation, which we rebuked many times. All right, then we can just go and see his reaction when Astrobot won the award.
Astrobot!
And there it is. Now, I'm not saying Alanah is lying, as the other devs beside him might have been more upset, but Twitter creating a fan fiction where the CEO was crying and upset is absolutely false.
Here's what my opinion is about the Wukong thing. They had those accusations of sexism and misogyny at Game Science, and in a panel that's made up of 90% Western journalists. I mean, fuck, they could have been, doing ritual killings, and it probably would have been better for them than potentially somebody making a comment that might be considered sexist. I feel like Wukong did win the only category that really matters, which is player's choice. That's the category that, consumers actually decide on, and they beat out 3 gacha games. Each gacha game, there's an incentive because they get free pulls for characters if the game wins. People had no incentive to vote for Wukong. They just did it because they thought the game was that good.
And again, these are things that matter because gamers are the ones who actually buy these games. But it gets even better. So now you see Charles Young here on Twitter, who apparently works for IGN China, says it's obvious that she mistook talking about Alanah Pearce someone else. Since I was with the Game Science team the entire time during those days, including the TGA night, no one cried over this. In fact, I didn't see anyone crying at the event. I have no idea why she said so. Further down, someone's like, it's gross any way you look at it. Spilling the tea and dramatizing this is weird, rude, and disrespectful, click-starving behavior. I was embarrassed and sad watching this clip. And I think that describes Alanah Pearce pretty accurately. It's just kind of sad and pathetic. So I'm going to leave it right there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this, and I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.